Right, catcher-uppers. If you're in, you're on. Let's do this. Let's get the JD, the job done. Not the Jack Daniels. The job done. Let's get the job done on this movement snack. This is the noon, so you're in the right place if you want the noon snack on the 26th of April 2021. Just going to go over to welcome in our live-alive-os, our live takers for this movement snack today. Hello, Rosemary, you're the first one in today. Welcome. There's loads of room for everybody, so hopefully this party will grow. I think normally we get around 35-ish, 35, 45-ish on a live, which is amazing. It's great that we're still getting those numbers and more people coming along just to have a little look. Hello, Ian, you're in second podium place today. I did have a giggle at that message that you sent me this morning as well. It's like you kind of went, and I suppose you'll be getting yourself some Marmite body wash as well. It was like that, which did amuse. I love it. I love reading your messages. Thank you. Wendy Granger, third place on the pole position hierarchy today. Sue Tilley's in as well. Hello to Dartmoor. Oh, Wendy, did you have a nice time when you went away the other week? You went out on the coast, didn't you? Weather's looking rather nice today as well. It hadn't half been cold in the morning though, hadn't it? Even with some frosts in April. Be on your way, frosts. We need to get some stuff planted in the garden, don't we? Hello, Christine. Hello, Diane Edwards as well. Good day to you both. Yes, I'm a Kels. I'm not a Bex. Hello, Vivian as well, and Paul. Yeah, we did a quick sneaky swap this morning because I kind of woke up and I thought, hang on a minute, today's my really busy day. I have about 4 shirt changes in a day. So I've had my purple shirt on today for my job, for my 16-hour job. Not 16 hours just today though. Straight into a later life training t-shirt. I'll be back into my job for the Leicester City Council's t-shirt after this. Then I'll be putting on my netball coaching t-shirt. And then when I get home from netball, and that's why I can't do the 4 p.m, because netball finishes at about 4:15, as it's an after school club. And then I'll be into me football training coach's top. So feel like this all day, on, off, on, off. So yeah, busy day today, as always on a Monday. What's going on with you lot then? Margaret, hello, you've just come in. Right, Diane is reporting sunny now, but was freezing cold in the morning. Oh no, Vivian, you've done the arm achy, change the bed job, change the bedding. It is nice to see them on the breeze on the washing line, isn't it? But it's just not very nice putting it all back together again. Because it's normally, I don't know about you lot, you strip the bed, you chuck it in the wash, it dries nicely, it's gonna smell beautiful. But you forget, you watch a bit of TV in the evening and then you go up to bed and your bed's not made. Who does that? Yeah, you're right there, Diane. I might get that. Leave me alone. Oh, I've got a t-shirt actually that says, if I'm unconscious, please leave me alone. It was from, do you remember Bottom? Rick Mail, Aid Edmondson. We went to one of their concerts, one of their live shows years ago, and I bought that. If I'm unconscious, please leave me alone. So that's exactly how I feel on a Monday after all me shirt changes and football hat, netball hat, exercise hat, movement snack hat. Tiring. It's 12 noon, everyone. Christine Lewis, hello. You're on a second semi-birthday. I did see that this morning, but I'm not right sure what it means. Enlighten me. Have I missed something? Maddie's in, reporting that she's cleaned, stripped the beds as well. Horrible job. Proper achy arm stuff going on there. I must do the 3, 2, 1 now, everyone. So here we are. 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon. It's officially 12 noon, and it's time for our noontime movement snack, as we know and love. This launches us most positively into our afternoon's worth of stuff. Have a check of your area. Make sure that you're happy with the space that you're working in. You have a chair should you wish to do any seated stuff that's firm, supportive, that ain't going to slip on the floor, that it's on top of, and that you've got some options for external support as well. Oh, it's your birthday today, Christine. Happy birthday to you. That's your lot. You get some singing out of us sometimes, don't you? But it's never great. It's rolling back. Let's get it out of the way properly. Rightio, setting up then before we set you off. Here we have feet hip distance apart, in seated and of course in standing. External support you might have directly in front of you, or you might have some options to the side of you or on both sides of you even. Take them up as you see fit. Now, if you're in seated and you're boosting from seated, you may choose to take some hip walks forwards, but just recheck your feet, ankles under knees, right angles at ankles, knees and hips, and a lengthened trunk, middle bit of your posture. Same in standing, just lift and lengthen through your middle bit. Shoulders rolling back and down, try and hold the chest lifted, body tall. And we can cue and layer in a bit of movement, i.e. our circ boost, into this. You might want to start with some foot pedals, leaving the ball of the foot down, or you might just launch straight into some leg marches. Take your pick, stick or twist. Now, as you're picking up your knees or pedaling through your feet, try and focus on what's happening around the ankles, the feet and the toes. Getting either some good creases over the toe bone joints, landing through the toes, the ball, the heel, and of course reversing that on the other way, on the lift, heel, ball of the foot, toes to lift. If you're marching, just leave the toes down if you're still foot pedaling. Keep going with that. Now, if you want to add in an arm swing, then feel free to do so. You might still need to hold on to your external support, or in seated onto the side of your chair. Changing sides, that is if you're not quite feeling steady, confident, or even coordinated to add both arms into the mix. If your legs are aching a little bit or your hips are aching a little bit, as they can do in seated, and you can do this in standing, you can keep the feet still and just work through the arm swings. Moving from the shoulders, drawing the elbows backwards. And we keep the lever a little bit shorter on these arm marches so that we can get that drive backwards through the elbow. We get a real good movement through the shoulders too. All of which should be helping to boost your circulation and warm you up. Let's just do maybe about 20-30 seconds more of this or that, whatever you're doing. Remember, you can only see me. I can't see you, unfortunately. Steady yourself down. You should be feeling just a little bit of a lift and a boost of the heart rate and the breathing rate, but nothing too strenuous here. Right, we're going to start off with our grippity-doo-dah. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can do a grippity-doo-dah, or you can do a bit of both. We've got a tea towel, or a sock, or if you've got, I know some of you have got an exercise band, you can use that, but really we can just make do with anything that we've got around our house that's material-like. Look, I've even got a slipper down here that I could potentially do my grippity-doo-dah onto. So if you want to roll it up or fold it up or scrunch it up, we're going to have one hand at the bottom and one hand at the top. Now I'm in standing here, of course, but you could come down into seated, or alternatively, if you've got a wall or some cupboards behind you, you could just lightly rest yourself against that as you do this move. I'm going to come in a bit closer. This is a squeeze, so increase grip. Press the shoulders down, try not to bring tension here. We want the tension in the hands and the forearms and the wrists. Then you could add a twist, like you're wringing out the dishcloth, and relax. So that's 2 layered on moves. We've got the squeeze, elbows are out at this point, and then during the twist, you can see your elbows come into, crunch into your body there, and then relax. Squeeze and twist. Now we can add on a pull, which is more effort than action actually. One hand trying to pull down, the other hand trying to pull up. And this creates tension, but it doesn't look like you're doing that much. You've got those options, and then of course you could swap sides. So the other hand on the top and the other hand on the bottom to lead the movement. Do a few of those. I'm going to offer you another thing as well. It's more focusing on a bit of wrist action. I'm going to keep hold of my scrumpled up piece of cloth here, tea towel, and I'm going to bring you some Winston Churchill books into play. Don't tell my husband because they're expensive set. Right, so here we go. We've got our wrist just off of the tabletop or the support that you've got there. So we can relax our wrist down, but then we can lift it up. The forearm, I'll just bring the books back here. The forearm is supported by the tabletop or the work surface. You can sit down, of course, to have a go at this. Now I have to stay in standing just because I've got nothing else around me. So here we go. Relaxing, bending, but then lifting and arcing the wrist in that direction. You could, of course, do both at the same time. Oh, you can see my fingernails there. Oh, I can't do that again. I'm a biter. I'm a fingernail biter. So you can do both at the same time though, to get a bit of movement, lifting, action, a little bit of work around the top of the hand and wrist there. Great stuff. Zippity-doo-dah. Done. We've got a skippity hey coming up. Here's your seated option for your skippity hey. We've been doing some heel raises, so we can rehearse some heel raises here in seated. Now, if you want to feel this perhaps a little bit more around the calf muscles, then tuck your feet back a little bit. And if you want, you can try and press a little bit of your body weight into your knees and onto your thighs so that you have got a little bit of something else to work against. If you sit up tall, you'll feel that that is very much different than when there's a bit of weight forward. So take your pick, maybe try out a couple of each, and we're lifting onto the tiptoes there. Here's your standing option. Now, no leaning forwards on this. We want to keep as much of our top half over our legs as possible because we are lifting ourselves to help engage and activate those calf muscles. Feet around hip distance apart, certainly no wider at the moment. You can lift up, hold there for a couple of seconds maybe, and then really put the brakes on the way down. It's not a skippity-doo-dah yet, but it could be a better start point for some of you. Now, if that feels like it's getting into the calves, we're on the right track with this movement here. And just notice whether you're trying to hunker over your external support or not. And if you are, just try and bring your top half posture into a more lifted, extended, upright position. Doesn't look like a skippity-doo-dah yet. The beginning of a skippity-doo-dah has a bit of a knee lift to it, like a skip does. And here you can do this in seated or standing. Can you see that it's no higher than hip height? There's a certain shift of weight, and there's a little bit of a toe ball heel landing of the feet as well. Sitting tall, it's a little bit of a higher leg march and a tiny bit slower. Have a go at that. Maybe go back to the heel raises just to mix it up a little bit, as your hips might start to ache a little bit there. Here's your skippity bit. Now, see how you feel with that. It's the knee lift and coming on to a heel lift as well. Now, I'm just adjusting in between to make sure that I've just got a little bit of time to organise myself around getting the next one done. So your heel lift might not quite be as high as it was in those both leg heel lifts that we were doing. See how that feels. Should be able to control the downward part with just as much control as the lifting part. And there we have your skippity doodah, with support, of course. Right, hopefully you like that one. I quite like that one. What's our final one? We've got a hippie day. Hippie day, everyone. Right, we've got two ways that we can achieve a little bit of action and work around these all-important hip muscles, which in turn help to keep our hips stable when we're standing or if we're walking as well. The other week, Bex introduced the TheraBand. So if you've got a stretchy thing, then you may, of course, use your stretchy thing. Just switching round here. So your stretchy thing can be wrapped around your knees. If you put your feet and knees together, you can actually loop it under. So that's one option, but don't worry if you've not got anything like this. We can get our trusty tea towel back into play, and I think a diagonal gives you a little bit of extra length, and you can pull it tight and over the side of your thighs like that, and then press your knees against your hands and release. So you might feel like you need to tilt forwards a little bit, but keep lifting rather than rounding into this top half posture position. And you should get some work in the hips there. You can hold these holds for up to 3, 4, 5 seconds, but of course each extra bit of hold time we put to it, the more you'll be working, the more intensity, the lift in effort and workload may well increase. We've got a standing version as well, so if you've done a few seated and you'd like to have a go at the standing version, then make that stand count. If you're remaining in seated, of course, keep going with what you can. And it's good to really feel some ache, some work, some maybe burning sensation, some tiredness into the muscles that you're aiming for. Now you can have your support in front of you, which will give you a bit better support than just the one hand on the side. Decide which leg's going to be your standing leg. Stand tall and strong through the hip, toes are forwards, and you're going to lift the leg up and then bring it, control it back down. Now, if you want to, there's two ways that you can do this. You can keep your weight over your standing leg all the way through those 3, 4 or 5 times that you do a leg lift. Your underneath leg though can get tired pretty quickly. So you might lift the leg, control it back down, and then take a little bit of a patter or an adjustment before you go on to the same side again. It's up to you. So here, have a look at that leg that's moving out to the side. The ankle leads the move with the toes still pointing forwards. Oh, my legs are aching from all that walking we did on Saturday. Here's the other leg. Knee soft, strong underneath hip and lifting. And actually, it's not really that high, is it, the leg lift? Leading with the ankle so that our hips aren't opening or body twisting open to the side. And when we're lifting our legs, stepping over stuff, moving in sideways directions, our hip muscles really come into play as well. They also do a lot of assisting of stuff like sitting to standing, being on your feet, walking, and a ton of other stuff as well that you do day in, day out. There's our triple trio of grippity doodah, skippity hey, and a hip hippy day. My oh my, what a hip hippy day. There we go, everyone. Thank you very much, Bex, for swapping with me today. Happy birthday, Christine Lewis. Have a wonderful day. Have a hip hip hippy hoppy day even. Thank you, everybody. As usual, it's an absolute pleasure to be with you once a day, sometimes twice if we're covering other people's shifts. You will have me from 4 tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Thanks, everyone. Ta-da for now.